Hi sir, my name is Ardito Mayana Sulao. Today I will present my part is introduction. The working experiment the working water experiment can help children become more curious and learn more about this experiment or the science. When this experiment doing well, the children can learn by watching and trying things out and finding out about science is fun and makes sense to them. When this experiment doing, the children can teach how to use things at home but need to watching from the parents when doing the things about the science. It also can help children to learn other important skills that will make them to have more knowledge about the science and a way for children to learn about science in real life. So I will pass to next presenter.
Now I will present about our topic in our projects. So in this slide we have experiments. In this experiment, during the experiments, we do the water walks, the walking water through the paper towel. So for the experiment, uh, the children can can see how the water walks through the paper towel, and then they will be mixed together, and then they will mix the color together. For example, red and blue, red plus blue, there will be purple color. So this experiment will build a curiosity and prediction skills to the children. For the experiments, we do uh, two color waters meet in the middle cup. They made into a new color. So we have yellow color, red color, and blue color. Blue mix red, and then blue mix yellow. So this experiment will help children to understand the color mixing in a fun way. And then for the science concept in this experiment, we have capillary actions. Capillary actions such as the movement happen because of cohesion water molecules stick together, and adhesion water molecules stick to the paper fibers. This is the same process plants this is the same process with the plants used to drain water from their roots and to the leaves. It's, for example, like grow, but it's not the same way. So these experiments overall can connect the classroom learning to the real life. It teaches how liquids move, how colors change, and show that science explains everyday phenomena. It also builds a curiosity and prediction skill in young learners in these generations.
So next is objective. The objective for this experiment is to help children learn how water can move through things like through such as a paper towel. So this can introduce to the idea of action, why why the water can through the paper towel when do the connect with other paper and the water inside the cups. It's easy to watch and understand, and also teach children about the color mixing that can mix from the other color, right? From the basic color is red, blue, and yellow. If the mix will will have the another color like purples, green, and so on. So it also helps children to recognize the color that are basic and ones that are made by mixing like I said before. So it also the children to get better doing science and can think creativity when doing their activity about the science. It can help children to think away, ask a question, and explain what they found when doing the experiment. So the children can be more curious, creative, and patient and good at solving problem from this experiment. So other than that, children have a feeling about science and learn because the science will make them more curious and will make fun for them. So I will pass to next presenter.
For the material, we use water cup, poster color, paper towel, and water.
So, good morning, Mr. Fikri, and I'm Florence Unit from MLC Sarawak. So, my part is procedures of the activities, which is the first is arrange 3 clear cups in a row, leaving the middle cup empty. So, for the second is fill the 2 outer cups halfway with water and add red food coloring on one cup and blue food coloring on the other cup. The third is
how the color change between mixed color, such as like the speed, how long it take for the color, for example for the color red and blue to mix together and to see the results, the mixing of the color. So they can see also the movements and how the color blends into a new one color. This can sharp their attention, curiosity, which are the foundation of science learning during these activity experiments. For the point number 2 is classify. So in this point, the children can identifying primary colors, for example red, blue, and yellow. Then they can recognize secondary colors, for example green and purple. When the primary color is mixed together, so they will recognize the secondary paper, what color. So the last one point is understand predictable outcomes. So during this overall of points, they group colors into category. They will know the group color into the category, which is primary and secondary. So they can see during the experiments how the color will change and mix together. This can help them to recognize similarities and difference and understanding that mixings produce predictable results. So they will know the result in the ends of mixing color, and then it will train them to organize informations with logically thinking. And then moving on to the point number 3 is predicting. That makes children can guess before the experiment. Before the experiment, they can guess what happened next, what the color will be that happens next when the two primary color mixing together. Then that can strengthen their imaginations and hypothesis skills, and then they can impress them in judgment in learning. So overall of these points, that is before the experiments, children can guess that what colors will form when mixed. For example, like red with blue color, they will guess what color if two colors, this color will transfer between together, and then they can imagine about the color will be the next results during the results, and then they can do hypothesis making. During the experiment activity by their own self, so it can give them excited and ownerships in the experiments, as they want to see if their guesses were correct or not. For the point number 4, which is inference, so for the inferring can explain the capillary action water move through small space. They will know capillary action water move through the small space during the experiments. For example, they can know what speed, how long speed that can take during the experiment, if then using the small cup or the long cups together, and then they can connect observation and cause effect thinkings. And then for the overall of deep inferring points, after the observings, children can explain with water. Children can explain during the experiment activity why the water moves through the paper towel, liking it to capillary actions like water traveling through small space or a big space due to cohesion and adhesions. And then they also infer that mixing color creates new shades. This builds reasoning and cause effect thinking to them. For the point number 5, which is communications, in this slide, they will share findings with peers and teachers. Use words, drawing, and gesture, the body gesture. And then the last one is improve confidence and collaborative learnings. Overall of these points, children can share their findings with peers and teachers, and also they can share their ideas also. They describe colors verbally, explain their ideas, or use drawings and gesture body to explain the activity during the experiments. This will improve confidence in their self, language skills, and collaborative learning as they listen to each other perspective. So they will hear the other side's perspective or the other side's idea and thinking also, and then it can make them to improve their language skills, how to talk with teacher and peers about the experiment with clearly. For the last one point is recording data. Recording data, the teacher will use the human observation on worksheets, draw the colors, how the children draw the colors, not change, use simple charts, and then learn systematic organize of findings, also how the children learn and organize. And then overall about these friends, they can document the observations on worksheets, so the teacher can prepare the worksheets to improve their observations during or by the drawing colors, noting change or using charts for the student to organize findings systematically, and highlighted the importance of accurate records for future scientific investigations. That's all from me.
So for the evaluation sheet is we choose observation checklist for the working watercolor mixing. So for the observation criteria is children's participant. The first is follow instruction correctly. So the second is participate actively throughout the experiment, handle the cups and papers towel carefully, and ask children or answer questions during the activity and stay focused until the experiment was completed. So the B section is learning outcome, which is identify that water moved through the paper towels, and the second is understood that the paper towel, observe and transfer water. The third is observe that red and blue mix into form a new color, and the others learning outcomes is predicted the result before the experiment, and lastly explain the experiment using simple scientific vocabulary. So this is for our evaluation sheet, which is observation checklist.
In conclusion, working water color mixing successfully developed to support the children in science subject for children aged 5 to 6 years. Throughout this project, we use safe material for children to do an assignment in the class and create activities that relate with the theme, which is living things and non-living things. The assignment was designed to help children gain knowledge of the difference between the living things and non-living things, and also help them to better understand how the non-living things work in science. Based on our assignment activity, it also shows the children how water can walk through the paper towels and mix color, helping children understood absorption and color blending.